I am losing my mind. Winter, it's January. It's been 30 below for the last 2 weeks, and I need to be outside. I've hardly seen the sun. I haven't really gone anywhere or done anything, and I'm losing my mind. But not really, I just need to go outside and see the sun one more time. Kind of just how Alaska winters go. So I decided to hop in the truck and I'm gonna go for a hike. My main motivation with this trip is really just getting outside, being somewhere beautiful, and actually seeing the sun. With my normal day job, I really don't get out much and kind of haven't seen anything of the sun in the last 2, 3 weeks, and just kind of takes a toll on you. So I decided I really just need to get outside and go be in nature and kind of go do something for me and go enjoy just a day trip by myself and go on an adventure and do something kind of spontaneous. I really didn't have any planning in this trip other than just get in the truck and drive. And man, it's just there's nothing more beautiful than that. It's kind of a widely agreed upon fact between me and my friends that the Alaska Range is the mountain range. It's the most beautiful and picturesque just mountains. They are what comes to mind when I think mountains, and I imagine most people do. I mean, just the most mountainy mountains out there. Just look at them. But I might be biased. This is really the only mountain range I have any experience with, but still just so beautiful. All right, well, at the base of where I want to start climbing, got the river right here behind me, and then right up about there is where I want to start climbing. I just got to go find a ridge and kind of find exactly the easiest way to get up there, but it's not too cold, not too windy. Really nice day. So I had to find a way across, and I ended up using this beaver dam as a little bridge. A little precarious because on either side it's wet and I don't want to take a swim. It is still pretty cold, and if I do that, I got to go home and call it because I don't want to die of hypothermia. But yeah, nice little bridge and little roadway. Truck's way back over there. So there's the truck. I'm all the way up here. Pretty steep. The steepest part was that first ledge after the beaver dam. But now I'm up here kind of right below a ridge. Right here, and that leads right up towards the summit. But we're making good progress. It's just a little steep. A little bit frosty, a little cold, but I don't know. It's pretty warm if you're moving, but summit's kind of back up that way. Actually, no, it's over here, but super, super nice out today. Over here, I think that mountain right there is the one we did with Mickey a couple years ago, last summer, last fall, 2 years ago. I don't know. I have no sense or concept of time. It's real pretty out here. It's incredibly nice. The weather is a lot better than I was expecting. We made it to the top of the ridge, and the views are amazing. Definitely different than climbing in the summer. The rocks are all frozen, and it kind of creates like I don't know, the top loose ones on top. It's kind of like marbles on a linoleum floor. But then if you can find where they're actually set into the hillside enough, it's really nice traction going up. But yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, making good progress. I don't really know what time I started, but it's like almost 3 o'clock. But the sun's getting ready to set-ish. I mean, it'll be dim for a while, but enough for it's safe to go back down. And I'll turn around whenever it starts getting really, really dark. But it doesn't look too bad. Not that much farther all the way up, but doing good. was about 20 below when I left my house this morning, but by the time I got out to the base of the mountain, it was about 0. I'm not really sure. I didn't have a thermometer or any way of measuring that, but it's definitely not as cold.
That sun just keeps getting crazier and crazier. But I kind of made my way up, and I've been finding a lot of disturbed dirt and looking like some tracks. And I think I'm up here with either mountain goats or mountain sheep, some doll sheep, I guess. But I don't know. Definitely getting up there. Right below that rock outcropping, I'm kind of shooting right up this gap right here. But kind of running out of daylight, and I want to be safe, so I don't know. We'll see how high I can make it up there before it gets too sketch. It's kind of starting to get a little bit dark. The sun's setting. It's really pretty, and I've kind of gotten everything I needed out of this trip, but a little bit worried about getting any further up there or anything, and then having to come back down and it being too dark. The most worrying thing is down here at the bottom where I came up and I crossed that beaver dam. I don't want to do that in the dark more than anything. The rest of the hill, I can just kind of sit on my butt and scoot down. It's all a scree slope all the way to the bottom. So, yeah, I mean, I made it up all the way. Right there's the outcropping. I was kind of looking at all those little spires and everything, but still probably a good quarter of the way up to the top. So I think I'm gonna call it. I don't really need to go do anything too crazy today, but it's good to get out and look at this. I mean, it's just beautiful out here. Yeah, once that sun drops behind those mountains over there, it's starting to get a lot darker. It doesn't really make a huge difference on camera, but it's definitely time to start heading down. But yeah, up here, I'm just heading down this big scree slope, and this stuff's pretty rowdy on the ankles going down, so I'm taking it pretty slow, but making as much progress as I can. But at the same time, I'm sitting here looking at all those big spires up behind me, and man, if one of those big guys comes down, that'd be pretty bad. But I think they're holding on. They've held on this long, so why would they fall today? So not too worried about that. But yeah, making progress down, just slowly. Pretty high up here still, but it's going. So this is super cool. I don't really know how well it picks up on camera, but right here on this scree slope, there's a path that comes down and then makes like a little ledge, and it's a little highway from all the goats and sheep and stuff up here on the mountain that kind of cut right across and pretty well carved in, and no fresh tracks on it really. And I've kind of walked over a little, but yeah, it's pretty sweet. It kind of goes over and wraps around right up. It really isn't picking up well on camera, but super cool that there's been goats and sheep and stuff on the mountain long enough to kind of cut in their own little highway. It's like the one down there. It's pretty neat. But yeah, it's starting to really get a lot dimmer out, so I'm trying to hustle down. I made it down here to this kind of snowfield, and it's just steep enough that I can kind of slide down. I've kind of been sledding on my side here, just kind of going down. It's pretty nice, actually. There was a spot earlier where I started catching way too much speed coming down, and that was a little bit frightening, but that was all right. In the end, I was able to stop myself. But yeah, it's getting super pretty out there. Kind of this darker blue light. It doesn't really pick up well on camera, so I'm probably just gonna head on down and back to the beaver dam and back to the truck, and I'll probably put the camera away. But yeah, it's getting really cool out. Here's the beaver dam, back down to the road. It's getting kind of dark, but right there's where I was walking across. Kind of zigzags a lot more. It's less than a straight line across, and quite a few spots where it's kind of low when there's a lot of water. But I already got a lot of snow in my boots. My feet are kind of wet, but they're pretty good boots, so I should be all right. But and the truck's just right there, so I'm not too worried about it either way. I was more worried coming across, but still didn't really want to take a dunk in that ice water here on out in the mountains at night. So almost back. Made it back down to the road. Beaver dam's right there. And then I was all the way right up the base of that one. Right at this kind of spire right there. Pretty sure. Pretty decent ways up there. But, yep, we'll head back down to the truck and head home. That was a good trip.